Hey lads, this past week I got to play Apex Chess in an Evo versus Chessnut Pro board challenge, and it was a ton of fun. The first game's on his channel, so do go over there and check it out to see who won. Second game is on this channel. Had a lot of fun playing him, and yeah, it's really cool that we can play against each other over the board on the internet. Technology's pretty cool. I'm not going to do any analysis or anything afterwards. It's just a simple game, both perspectives, what we're thinking, and I hope you enjoy.
All right, we have the white pieces this time, and of course we're going to play e4.
He's played the move e4, so we'll go into Caro-Kann.
And now, I know Blunderman plays the Caro-Kann. We're not going to play any kind of gambit here, because the last time I did that, he knew exactly how to refute it.
And he knows the Caro-Kann because he plays it, but I play it better. I actually haven't really studied the Caro-Kann at all. I just play it a lot, and so I always find that I do quite well.
And I know he's going to push c5, which I'm not a big fan of playing against, but, you know, it's fine. We take that. And now let's see what he plays. Okay, so he plays this line where he develops a knight, so I'm going to go f4.
Knight c6 is the move. Hey, Mr. Chess, it's okay. And then the bishop here. This is actually the best move. I believe we go here with our bishop. I believe.
And yeah, now it's a game of trying to hold on to the pawn, just like we saw in the first game with him trying to hold on to his pawn, except now it's us. So he develops the bishop, and
that's about all the theory I know here.
yeah, I think the move is just knight f3 here, just developing. He hasn't attacked their pawn yet, so we don't need to develop the bishop. As soon as he plays e6, then we will play bishop to e3, defending the pawn.
Now, maybe it was correct for me to check him. I think I will check him and take that pawn back. Yeah, let's get the pawn back.
He starts to check. Okay, so he just wants the pawn back that way. Interesting. I'm wondering which way it's better to... Maybe I just play like c3. c3 if queen takes. Should be fine. So let's just go here. Now he can't take with the bishop. Otherwise, b4 is a problem.
Oh. I was not expecting that. Yeah, the knight might have been a wee bit better because then he has two pawns attacking my pawn. Not sure. Maybe my move was a mistake because actually, yeah, he had knight c3 blocking the check and then attacking my pawn twice. And I really wish I had played e6 now. e6 would have been a very good move because otherwise I'm going to lose this pawn.
Yeah, now he takes with the queen. And we just have a game. I forget what the best way to play here is, though. Because I've been playing the gambits, so I'm not really too versed in this.
I'm okay with this. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, in the future, when d takes c5, I think I should put the bishop out, play e6, and then go after his pawn. He's playing this very accurately, I think. But I don't know. Maybe I think knight c3 was slightly better. I could be wrong. Anyway, I don't need to dwell on the past. Let's dwell on the present. What are we looking at here? My queen might be tempoed. He could go b4. And then I'm not defending my pawn anymore. Okay, he didn't.
Yeah, let's play knight d4. We're attacking his bishop, so he's gonna want to take probably.
I think I'm totally fine with capturing that knight. And if he recaptures with pawn, then yeah, everything's equal. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. And if he recaptures the pawn, he's going to recapture the pawn. I have queen b4 check. If he blocks with either piece on d2, then we win the pawn back. So he's not. He's going to block with the knight to c3.
We could take with the queen and go into an endgame if he wanted to. Or he could take with the pawn, which is also an idea. But to be honest, I want to take with the queen. I don't know if it's good though. But you know what? YOLO, let's play an endgame. Let's see what he's got for us.
Okay, so he actually captures with queen. And here I think I just play e6. Because it defends very well. Yeah. e6 is a move I wanted to play. And now we've played it.
If he takes the queen, I might throw in a check first. Just to make sure he can't castle. Okay, so he just protects. Huh. Didn't really expect that move. He doesn't want to help me improve my pawn structure. I mean, him castling is not the end of the world, so... I could also throw in a check using the queen. That is an idea. Queen a4. I'm gonna throw in this check. He can't block with the queen, otherwise he gets pinned. Which just would suck.
Does he have the bishop b5 check? Don't think so. Nothing yet. Maybe he captures my queen, I capture then bishop b5, but my king being in the middle without queens on the board is okay. Maybe he has queen a5? I'm sorry, a4? He does, he plays it. I have to move the king. I can't block with the queen. If I block with the queen, then bishop comes to b4 and I'm losing my queen for a bishop. I can't play b5 because he takes with bishop and I'm toast. So maybe king d8 looks the safest. I also want my bishop to develop. So yeah, king d8.
And it's a matter of like, where does our queen actually want to go? Or where does our king want to go? Yeah, so he has to step over. Like I said, not the end of the world, but not entirely what he wants. I don't really need to be worried about any checks coming in. Well, I mean, I actually, yeah. I'm thinking of b4. It's a little ambitious, though. I'll also just develop my bishop.
So I guess my development's not good, but both of us can't really castle yet. So his king's in the middle too, so it's not the end of the world.
I guess I could play knight d2 if queen e3, then we could play... Could play bishop e2. I don't love it, but also don't hate it. You know what? We're gonna go for it. We're gonna allow that check, which just seems really bad. It allows him to take the pawn. But, yeah, no.
It's not the end of the world, Mr. Chess. We're going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. But I need to study my lines because I don't know how I got into this position. This is not okay. Which piece to develop next? The bishop looks really bad on e7. Maybe a6, b5? No, because then he just takes with his bishop. I can't recapture with pawn because he wins my rook on a8. So he's developing a piece. Very logical to do that. However, I have a check. And I'm going to play it.
We're playing some risky chess here. We're gambiting a pawn. Yeah, there's the check. And this was the plan. To just block.
He's going to block with bishop. And I think I take the pawn. Or do I play the beautiful bishop d3?
Now it's like like in the last game, he didn't get his pieces out. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get happening here. He's going to take the pawn, and then the question is, do we gambit the second center pawn? I'm not so sure about that one. Oh, wait, no, my queen protects the pawn. What am I saying?
Wow. Am I just winning? Bishop d3, he can't take my bishop because he's pinned. Alright, I trust Stock Lizard here. He does have a check, but I don't think it's working.
Bishop in? Oh, did I miss this? Oh, I missed that move. Shoot.
Happy days. He can't castle? What is he going to do here? His only way to stop this is checking.
I don't really want to have to go all the way back. But I think I have to. Yeah, I do have to go all the way back. Unfortunately.
And he's only got one good check, which is a5, queen a5. And then I just go b6, right? He's got no more checks. Oh, he plays queen back. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's threaten checkmate again. Can we do that by going bishop c5? Then he puts the rook on f1.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Without a doubt. Now he's going to develop the bishop threatening mate, and I'm going to have to defend with rook f1, and that's not good.
I really like my position. He's not in a good spot. Do we take the bishop? He takes with queen, I take the pawn. Seems kind of lackluster. If I go bishop c5, he has to stop the checkmate threat on f2. So his only move is rook c1 or rook f1. Then do we try to move the knight in? Knight h6? Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Knight h6. Development.
Well, actually, if he develops the bishop... No, I can't play that. Never mind. Yeah, he's just going to bring out the bishop. I have to play rook f1. It's not good. Not fun. He could also just trade, but he can take the pawn. No, he can't because the bishop's pinned. The bishop is attacked, only saved by the pin. I'm kind of in a mess. Kind of in a mess. Oof. Okay, so he just develops his knight. Okie dokes. So, that gives me time to develop my bishop, or my knight. Now there's an attack on his queen. And this is kind of freeing up some of my position. So I'm happy to see that, actually. I thought he should develop his bishop threatening mate, but there was something that he didn't like about it, I guess.
If he moves his knight, we can just move the queen. Yeah, that's what I thought he would do. So I think the queen can come back to e4. Oh, no. Then he takes my bishop, doesn't he? Oh, no. I've let this all slip. If I go bishop or queen back, he takes my bishop with his queen. Then I take on g2. And he can just put his rook there. Yeah. Okay, so I have to capture here.
Yeah, and he kind of has to, like, trade now. Yeah, so he decides to take like this.
I think that was a missed opportunity, Mr. Chess. Oh, sorry, buddy.
But now I can just activate my pieces. So I can take the queen with the bishop, activating my bishop, and then when he takes my queen, I activate my rook at the same time.
Okay, he takes my queen. I have to take his queen. I definitely missed something there. He takes with the rook. And now we are into an endgame where I don't have an advantage. That is truly depressing.
And we can just castle. Well, I guess he's going to play knight f5, and then we can do something with our bishop. But I don't think this is as much. I don't think this is what he wanted. Also, the other question is, do we keep the bishop and just play like bishop f2?
I think we'll play the pawn here because it stops his knight moving and it stops his bishop moving. I should have taken more time there, Mr. Chess. I should have taken more time.
So he's worried about something invading. I wasn't really too concerned. I'm going to take this moment to actually play knight d4, stopping his knight from coming in. So we're going to be a little bit restrictive here, because I know he wanted to play knight f5.
Okay, if he checks me on c6, am I stressed at all? I'm not. So let's attack his bishop. And his bishop's only got one square, which is g1. And g1 is not a good square for the bishop because it blocks in his rook. Right, Mr. Chase? I don't know what he's doing right now, but we need to put him on my shoulder.
The knight jumps there, so that's an attack on my bishop. But okay, I mean, we just slide back. If he wants to take the bishop, go ahead. I'll step up with the king, and then we have every piece developed.
Come on. Okay, so he just goes back to here. There you go. And I think I'm going to capture, because surely bishops are better in an endgame. We also can pin here, but his pawn is defending. I think that just looks like a very even game. Bishops thrive in open positions, so maybe we try to open everything up.
Yeah, and now the plan is just to play f5. It weakens my e5 square, or my e5 pawn, but if f5 and ef, knight takes, then we have an attack on his d-pawn immediately, and I don't see a way that he can protect it. So it's a pretty big threat.
Let's just move my king forwards. All right, buddy. Say goodbye. All right. He's heading out. And I gotta lock in here. I gotta lock in. Okay, he's pushed his pawn.
Let's push the pawn. If he takes, I have discovered attacks, which I don't really actually think do much. Maybe that was a dumb move.
Seems like a very good move. However, he's missed this pin. I think this pin is good.
Instead, he just pins me. I think this is a missed opportunity. Let's take the pawn. My knight is protected, so I'm not worried.
He could take my pawn. I take his knight, potentially. I'm just going to recapture though. And now I have an isolated pawn, which is probably not a good thing, but my king's fairly central. He gets out of the pin. Do we take, and then defend the pawn?
Yeah, we're just going to come forward. He doesn't want to trade.
My pawn is a passed pawn, which might be a pretty good thing.
Like, that bishop's really good. But the threat is to play, like, knight b3. Okay, so he takes. But now we're going to just capture back. And we're just going to get our pieces active. Like, if he goes king to c5, I mean, rook c1.
I think we have to go to this square, because if we go to the c file, we get checked.
We're fine. King there. I mean, honestly, I might just play. What do I want to play? Like, I can expand, but I could also just take a hold of the file. Let's double up. Let's get active, but immediately we're forcing him to do something.
I think this position may be drawn. It looks very drawish. I need to maneuver my rooks well. Okay, so he's just decided to double, and so that just means I have to defend. And I'm defending with the H rook because the A rook can then come to the open file. And if I can get onto the open file, maybe I have a way into the position.
So I could play f5 and then take the pawn if I want, but I don't see a need for that. Actually, that doesn't even work. Let's push our pawn. Gonna take space. And he's gonna bring his rook to the open file, which he should. Yeah, there it is. And I don't know if I want to stop him from infiltrating or not.
Okay, so if he goes f5, I take e5. Yeah, that's totally fine. He doesn't even have a check with the rook because I take the other rook. And my rooks are both defending each other on the 8th rank. So I could take his rook with the pawn, checking his king, and taking the other one, in fact. Yeah, f5 would be a big blunder. And now I have the open file. And my next move, hopefully, will be a fork. Fork. Okay, and it is. I'm forking both of the pawns. He should have played h4, I think.
Yeah, the point was I wanted to come back with the rook. And I'm trying to blockade with the king. Because his king doesn't have an easy time coming forward. And he could double up if he wants. I don't know who's better in this endgame. I don't know. Like, if we trade all the rooks off, who wins this?
Okay, if I go rook dc8, he takes my rook, I take his rook. It would be fine, but I go rook dc8, he takes my pawn. Then I take his pawn on the b file. Then he checks me. I have to move back. He checks me again. I have to move down. And then he is free to capture my a pawn. So his a pawn will be there and my a pawn will be here. But then I capture his h pawn. So he wins these two pawns and I win those two. Mine's a central pawn. I don't think that's a good idea for me. So maybe capture, capture. Yeah, let's capture, capture. And I do think this is good.
Okay, so he decides to trade. Fair enough. We're going to take with our rook, of course. Now, he might push his pawn. But he can't do that. That makes 0 sense. He's going to the open file. I think I'm just going to play king over. And try to trade. Go king here.
And if I'm on c1, okay, he just moves there. Wow. Surely I have rook c4. Do I? Rook c4. Rook g2. No, maybe rook c1. Yeah, let's go rook c1. It looks much more active.
Now, if he doesn't play like a rook c4, which I think is the best move, then I'm going to play like rook c2, I think, and go into this endgame. I mean, rook c4 seems really, really intuitive. Just immediately going after. Okay, instead he goes all the way behind. He's not attacking a pawn immediately. I'm going to offer a rook trade, I think. Let's see if he takes a rook trade. He has a pass pawn, but I think I should be able to stop it in time. I don't think this is a losing king and pawn. I could be completely wrong. I have not calculated it. But, yeah, we're going to go for it.
Okay, and now I need to figure out what we're doing. Maybe rook h1. Yeah. And yes, I've allowed him in. But if he moves his rook, then I'm just able to capture one of his pawns. And I don't know if the h pawn is going to be as valuable as one of my pawns. He could take the a pawn or he could take the d pawn. And both look tempting. I'm the only one with a passed pawn, but yeah, I don't think it's obvious which one he should take.
So I can infiltrate on him if I want. But I can also I don't know, push the pawns and just keep everything as is. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's push our pawn. And we're going to try and deep freeze his 2 pawns there with b5.
What if I go f6, he takes? I take with king? No. I'm going to check.
Okay, he gives me a check. And now we need to decide where we're going. I don't really want to trade the rooks in this position, I don't think. But maybe it's fine. Let's offer a rook trade. This might be really bad. Like I'm kind of lazily trying to trade the rooks. But like, he is the one with the pass pawn. And I'm kind of being overconfident right now, trying to trade the rooks. He should probably just trade the rooks and say, hey, I'm the one with the pass pawn, dude. But what I'm trying to argue right now is that he doesn't have a clear path in to my position. And I could be totally wrong with my calculations.
Okay, so he does want to trade. f6 doesn't work. But I feel like I can get counterplay here quicker than he can. I'm going to trust my gut here. And it's probably very close to being drawn. But I think my position looks very good. Okay, so f3, he takes, I take. He moves his king up. g5, he takes, I take. He moves his king over to f3. But then I can start pushing this pawn. Okay, let's try it.
We have a 4-on-3. And if I also get b5 in, he can't move those pawns. And I'll have 2 waiting moves. So he's immediately attacking, which I think is a good move. But it still doesn't really allow him into my position. We're going to take that. And he takes with the king. Wow, really? That, to me, makes no sense.
I think this looks good for me. This looks good.
Let's walk our king up. We want to get to the pawn. So if he goes king e6... No, I saw this move. I did. And now his point is, if I push, he gets the king to e5. Push e5. But I have more waiting moves. So if I go f5, king e5, and then play like b5, he's gonna go. Okay, so maybe it's not so clear.
Maybe g4 doesn't work because he can push, but if he pushes, then we just come into. Yeah, if he pushes, we just come into e5, and yeah, I've given him a passed pawn, but I don't know. I also have a passed pawn. Oh, this is stressful. One move and this game's over. I have plenty of time though, so it doesn't have to be a clock race, which is nice.
Okay. I see you out here, Blunder man.
Apex is he's too strong. He's way too strong. He needs to be nerfed. We need to nerf him. I'm nerfed because I blunder a lot. But he is playing like an engine here. Okay, so if he pushes and I go e5, it's hard to say who's better. Because I have the D pawn. He's got an F pawn. But I do have to stay by that pawn, but he's got to stay by my pawn.
So if I push... I hate endgames.
So I'm expecting him to try to push. Let's take the space. Maybe we don't. Yeah, we definitely take the space because otherwise we're toast. Yeah, we have to take the space. F takes g5, king takes g5, king d4, king takes the g pawn, and I'm the one who's going to promote. Yeah, he has to push. That's his only move, I think. Otherwise, I win his G and H pawn. So maybe let's say F takes G5, King takes G5, H3, King H4, king d4, king takes h3, king takes d5, and then I push Harry. And he's going to just take too long getting my 2 pawns. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves essentially to get out of the way of his b pawn promoting, and mine will already be basically promoted. So yeah, he can't take. He has to push. So when he pushes, then I go king e5. King e5. I'm not sure what he's going to play. It really depends who has opposition. But it sucks because my king has to stay by the f pawn. So I'm never going to be able to promote. I feel like he's winning, actually. I feel like he's winning if he just pushes. I think he's winning because his pawn is a pass pawn, but it's protected. That's the difference.
Oh, I just need to calculate it. Okay, we've lost the camera for the board, so that's my apologies. I think we just push the pawn. And what I'm calculating here is that he's gonna get in with the king, but he can now never go forward. We're gonna put a battery in this bad boy again.
So maybe if he pushes, instead of taking the space, do we play h4? I'm sorry, h5. He probably plays h3. I capture, he captures. Okay, so he did push. So I'm wondering here, h5, h3. Yeah, it's rough. I will be lucky if this is a draw. I think that's what I've realized. If I go h5 and he takes, then I take his pawn on the f file and he pushes, then I'm catching him. I'd be very happy, but he's got h3 up his sleeve.
Yeah, so he brings his king forward. This is kind of what I calculated. But now I can actually just freeze his pawns, I think. Yeah, I think I can now go here. And if he comes forward, then I push my pawn, because now I have a pass pawn of my own.
Oh, that's a good move. We have to go for this. And I just pray that he takes. But he's not going to. He's going to play h3.
Okay, so he pushes his pawn, which I expected, but then my plan was just to go h3 here. King endgames are all about your moves, awaiting moves. So what I'm trying to do here is make him be out of moves, because I've already restricted his A and B pawns with one of my pawns, and I have 2 waiting moves using that pawn.
So take, king f4. He pushes, take. Take here. He gets a queen, and my pawn's still on the 5th rank.
And he can never play king f4, because then I go f6. Yeah, see, he's starting to push the pawn. But now I can actually just move my pawn 1 square.
I have to play my king behind my pawn. No other move.
So he moves his king over. But now I can just take on h5. And then we have 2 pass pawns. We're going to win his center pawn. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take the pawn now. And that's 3 squares away. Like, he's still in the box, of course. But he's got to go back. And he can't even take my other pass pawn. So we're going to start pushing this. Yeah, I think that decision by him lost him the game.
Oh, I'm cooked. This is terrible. Because his pawn holds on g7. Man, Apex. This isn't fair. Yeah, he's completely outwitted me.
Okay, he goes back, but now it's just simple. We just walk in with our king. Which way do we want to go? Let's go here.
He's completely outwitted me. And now his king's just gonna promote to a super king.
King goes to the corner. It seems as if he's trying to stalemate, but let's just go here. We'll try to get to e7, and then, yeah. So he goes there.
And there's no pre-move tricks because he's playing on an Evo board.
But let's just push our pawn. Takes. But we're making a new queen. We just push.
Yeah, absolutely cooked. All right, I resign again. I resign. Apex has bested me in both games. I'm sorry, lads. He just outwitted me that game.
And he resigns. Good game, man. Good game. We are going to hop into an analysis. Well, if this one goes on my channel, then I'm going to do an analysis. If not, then Blunderman probably will. But either way, great game. Thanks for the games, man. And it looks like the Chessnut Evo takes the win. And if you want one of these boards or one of the boards that Blunderman was using, you can use code Apex or whatever his code is, whoever you support. We do get 5% of the revenue. So whatever creator you are supporting, use their code if you want to get one of their boards, and you can use it on any of their products and save up to 17% off. They're awesome. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Well played to him. Lads, if you like, watch the other game on his channel. And you can watch this one on my channel. Or the other way around. I don't know. Subscribe to both of us. And buy an Evo board or a Pro board. And use the codes that we have in the thingy-mabob. See you, lads.